One morning in a small village, a little boy named Ollie woke up earlier than usual. Ollie felt very restless, as if there was something waiting for him outside the house. Without much thought, Ollie went out of the house and began to walk around the village. While walking, Ollie saw a group of birds flying low and heard a strange sound coming from the direction of the forest. Ollie felt curious and decided to follow the sound. After walking for a long time, Ollie finally arrived at a cave near the edge of the forest. Not afraid of the dark cave, Ollie entered it and turned on the flashlight he brought. Inside the cave, Ollie was surprised to see a magical object that shone in the middle of the cave. The object looked like a beautiful crystal ball that made Ollie's eyes wide open. Ollie was amazed and wanted to take the object, but suddenly he felt a strong vibration from inside the object. Ollie felt scared and wanted to get out of the cave immediately, but he also felt attracted and curious about the magical object. Without much thought, Ollie took the object and immediately left the cave. After leaving the cave, Ollie felt a strange power from inside the object. He felt stronger and smarter than before. Ollie was very happy and grateful to the object for giving him extraordinary power. With the magical object he possessed, Ollie became a hero in his village. He used his power to help the people in his village and fight against evil. Every time Ollie held the magical object, he felt like he was flying and felt very happy. Throughout his life journey, Ollie learned a lot about goodness and evil, as well as how to use power wisely. Nevertheless, Ollie always kept the magical object carefully and never used it carelessly. Eventually, Ollie grew up to be a famous hero throughout the country, and the magical object always remained a valuable legacy in his life. One day, there was a child named Rika who loved to go on adventures. While wandering in the woods, she discovered a path that she had never seen before. Curious, Rika decided to follow the path. After walking for some time, Rika arrived at a small village that looked very beautiful. However, she soon realized that the village was in danger because a terrible dragon had attacked and destroyed the houses in the village. Without hesitation, Rika decided to help the small village and face the dragon. She went into the forest and gathered large pieces of wood to create a dragon trap. After finishing the trap, Rika set it up near the cave where the dragon was located. The dragon came out of the cave and got caught in the trap that Rika had made. With wit and quick thinking, Rika managed to capture the dragon and restore peace to the small village. As a token of appreciation, the villagers gave a small gift to Rika. However, the most precious gift to Rika was her success in helping the small village and becoming a hero to them. From that day on, Rika became more confident and became even braver in exploring the world. She knew that if she acted with courage and cleverness, she could face any challenge that lay ahead. On a bright morning in the dense tropical forest, a chubby and cheerful bear named Booty woke up from his long sleep. He grabbed his nest and leaped out to explore the forest. Although the forest looked calm, Booty knew that there were many things waiting for him out there. Booty not only wanted to wander in the forest, but also wanted to find new friends. For several hours, he walked alone and tried to find his new friends. He passed a calm river, a dense bamboo forest, and a quiet open field. However, there were no signs of life. As Booty continued walking, he saw something that caught his attention. In the distance, he saw a deer eating. Booty felt happy seeing another animal in the forest and walked towards the deer. However, as he approached the deer, the animal saw him and immediately ran away. Booty felt sad and disappointed. He wanted to be friends with the deer and maybe explore the forest together. However, he knew that he shouldn't give up easily. After some time, Booty met a bird flying low above his head. Booty quickly jumped up to try to catch the bird. However, the bird flew up and onto a tree that was far out of his reach. Booty felt angry with himself. He felt like he couldn't find new friends in the forest. However, he realized that he had to keep trying and searching. While exploring the forest, Booty met a squirrel picking fruits. The squirrel turned around and saw Booty standing behind him. At first, the squirrel was scared, but when Booty smiled, the squirrel felt calmer. Booty and the squirrel started talking and playing together. Booty was very happy to have found a new friend in the forest. They walked together, ran, and played in the trees. Booty felt like he finally found a place that truly belonged to him in the tropical forest. Finally, after a long adventure, Booty and the squirrel decided to return to Booty's nest. They promised to meet again and explore the forest even more. In this story, we can learn that finding new friends is not easy, but we must keep trying and not give up. We must continue searching until we find people who can be our true friends. Once upon a time, there was a brave adventurer named Jack who lived in a small village at the foot of a great mountain range. Jack had always dreamed of exploring the mountains and discovering new lands, but he had never had the chance to do so until now. One day, Jack decided to set out on his adventure. He packed his bags with food, water, and supplies, and set off into the mountains. As he climbed higher and higher, he encountered many challenges, including steep cliffs, raging rivers, and wild animals. Despite these challenges, Jack pressed on, driven by his sense of adventure and his desire to explore. He climbed up rugged cliffs, crossed treacherous rivers, and battled fierce beasts. But at every turn, he discovered new wonders and treasures, including beautiful waterfalls, hidden caves, and rare jewels. As Jack journeyed deeper into the mountains, he encountered strange creatures and mysterious beings. Some were friendly and helped him on his way, while others were hostile and tried to stop him from reaching his goal. Finally, after many long weeks of travel, Jack reached the highest peak in the mountain range. There, he discovered a hidden valley filled with lush forests, sparkling streams, and beautiful wildlife. The valley was unlike anything Jack had ever seen before, and he knew he had discovered something truly special. For many years, Jack explored the valley and its surroundings, discovering new wonders and treasures with each passing day. And even though he eventually returned to his village, he never forgot the incredible adventure he had experienced in the mountains and he always looked forward to the next time he could set out on a new adventure. Want to explore the amazing world of storybooks? Subscribe to my YouTube channel to discover new stories that can stimulate your imagination. One day, in a forest far from human settlements, there lived a group of very happy rabbits. They lived in a burrow hidden among bushes and trees, and they played and interacted with each other every day. There was one rabbit who was very special, named Kiki. Kiki had very thick and soft fur with a beautiful golden brown color. Kiki was the smartest rabbit among the others and always led in various adventures. One day, while Kiki was playing with the other rabbits, she saw something that caught her attention. Behind the dense bushes, there was a very large and delicious carrot plant. Kiki felt very happy because the carrot was so tempting and made her feel hungry. However, to reach the carrot plant, Kiki had to cross a very swift and dangerous river. Kiki thought hard and finally found a solution to overcome this problem. She asked her rabbit friends for help to build a strong bridge so that she could cross the river. After the bridge was completed, Kiki quickly crossed the river and successfully reached the delicious carrot plant. However, suddenly she saw a wolf coming and threatening her. Kiki felt scared, but she didn't give up. She used her cleverness and invited the wolf to play tag, so that the wolf forgot to chase her. With her courage and cleverness, Kiki managed to take the carrot plant and bring it back to the burrow. She shared the carrot with her friends, and they were all very happy and grateful to Kiki for leading them in such an exciting adventure. Since then, Kiki became a hero among the other rabbits. She was always ready to lead and solve any problems faced by the group, and they all lived happily in peace and joy under the protection of Kiki's smart and brave leadership. One day, there was a little girl named Mia who lived in a small village on the edge of a forest. Mia was a brave child who loved to explore the forest. Every time she went to the forest, she always brought provisions and a forest map made by her grandfather. One day, while Mia was adventuring in the forest, she saw a big tree that she had never seen before. The tree was very big and tall, with lush branches and delicious fruits. Mia wanted to try picking the fruit from the tree, but unfortunately, the tree was too tall to reach. Mia felt sad, but then she saw an old man passing by the tree. Mia hurriedly approached the old man and told him about her desire to pick the fruit from the tree. The old man smiled and said, "My child, if you want to pick the fruit from that tree, you have to cross a dangerous river and enter a dangerous cave across the river." Mia hesitated because she had never crossed a river before and did not know how to enter the cave. However, she did not want to give up and decided to ask for the old man's help. The old man gave Mia a map and told her how to cross the river and enter the cave. Mia followed the instructions and finally succeeded in crossing the river and entering the cave. After overcoming several obstacles, Mia found the fruit from the big tree and picked it happily. However, suddenly, a terrifying sound was heard from inside the cave. Mia became frightened and immediately fled from the cave. After Mia came out of the cave, she found the old man waiting for her outside the cave. The old man smiled and said, "You are very brave, Mia. You have passed the test and obtained the fruit from that big tree." Mia felt very happy and grateful to the old man. She learned that if we have strong determination and help from good people, we can overcome obstacles and achieve what we want. And from that day on, Mia always held on to that lesson and continued to explore the forest with enthusiasm. One day, in a dense forest full of natural beauty, there lived a beautiful and intelligent bird named Leela. Leela was a very cheerful bird who always had fun with her bird friends. One day, while Leela was flying freely above the forest, she suddenly heard a crying sound coming from below. Leela was very curious and decided to land and see what was happening. As it turned out, there was a young bird who was separated from its family and feeling very lonely and afraid. Leela felt sorry for the young bird and decided to help it. She comforted the young bird and invited it to play with her bird friends. Over time, Leela and the young bird became very close. The young bird felt very happy and content with Leela and her friends, and even learned to fly together with Leela. However, one day while Leela and the young bird were playing on a tree, a predator bird suddenly came and tried to attack them. Leela was very brave and protected the young bird, so they managed to escape the danger. Afterwards, Leela felt that she should teach the young bird to be more careful and skilled in order to face dangers in the future. Leela asked for the help of her bird friends to teach the young bird about the importance of caution and courage. Eventually, the young bird grew up to be a strong and smart bird like Leela. They remained friends and always had fun together in that beautiful forest. And every time they flew in the sky, they always remembered their beautiful and precious friendship story. One morning, in a beautiful and cool garden, lived a white cat named Whiskers. Whiskers loved the garden where he lived very much, and every day he would explore the garden to make sure everything was running smoothly. One day, while Whiskers was walking in the garden, he saw a group of small children playing near the beautiful flowers. However, Whiskers saw a threat to the flowers. A mouse was trying to eat the beautiful flower leaves. Whiskers quickly sprang into action and chased the mouse out of the garden. However, when he returned to the garden, he realized there was another problem that needed to be addressed. A small squirrel was trying to dig a hole near the busy footpath, and Whiskers knew it could be dangerous for people walking by. Without hesitation, Whiskers ran to the squirrel and reprimanded it. "Stop it now, little squirrel. You cannot make a hole here." The little squirrel felt scared and immediately stopped digging. Whiskers felt relieved, and he returned to the garden to continue his guard duty. However, once he arrived in the garden, he found a new threat. A sparrow was trying to make a nest on a tree near the grass field. Whiskers knew that the nest could disturb the athletes playing on the field, so he immediately decided to meet the sparrow and persuaded to move to another location. After completing his duties as the garden guardian, Whiskers felt very tired. However, he felt satisfied because he had guarded the garden well. When night came, Whiskers slept soundly, with peaceful and calm thoughts. And that is the story of the garden guardian cat. He is always ready to guard the garden and protect all the creatures living within it. Finally, Whiskers understands that guarding the garden is not an easy task, but he will always strive to keep the garden safe and beautiful for everyone. Thank you for watching the Garden Guardian Cat video today. We hope this story can provide entertainment and happiness for all of you. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss out on other interesting stories. And also, don't forget to give a like or thumbs up if you enjoyed this story. We would be very happy if you could share this video with your friends so they can also enjoy the same story. Thank you again and see you in the next stories. On a sunny day, Kitty, a lively and soft-furred cat, went out of the house to enjoy the fresh air. She jumped around on the grass and explored the garden, peeking at little birds running on the trees. However, suddenly the sky turned dark and black clouds covered the sun. Strong winds blew and lightning struck. Kitty felt scared and tried to find a shelter. But before she found a safe place, heavy rain started to pour down. The raindrops hit her soft fur and Kitty felt cold and wet. She ran around looking for a shelter from the rain, but nothing could be found. She felt disappointed and kept walking while shivering from the cold. That was when a little child who was on the way home from school saw Kitty and felt sorry for her being caught in the rain. The child immediately approached Kitty and carried her into their raincoat. Kitty felt comfortable inside the raincoat and felt warm. She looked at the child with gratitude and pretended to close her eyes, feeling the warmth from the raincoat. Then, the child took Kitty into their house and gave her a towel to dry herself. They also provided food and drink for Kitty to refresh and energize herself. Kitty felt very lucky to have met such a kind-hearted child and was grateful to be saved from the rain. After the rain stopped, the child safely sent Kitty back home. Since then, Kitty always remembered the kindness of the child and felt more enthusiastic about exploring the outside world. She knew that out there were always kind-hearted people ready to help and protect her from danger. In a calm lake lived a cheerful and brave blue duck. It loved to go on adventures and explore its surroundings. One day, while swimming in the lake, the blue duck spotted a stick by the lake's edge. Curious, it decided to explore the stick. After checking its surroundings and finding no danger, the blue duck swam towards the stick. As it turned out, the stick was much bigger than it had imagined, and the blue duck was thrilled to have found a new place to explore. However, while it was exploring the stick, a large dog suddenly appeared and started chasing it. The blue duck became very frightened and tried to swim away from the dog, but the dog continued to chase it, and the blue duck felt increasingly threatened. Luckily, a bird flew over and saw the blue duck in danger. The bird quickly flew towards the blue duck and called out to its friends. Several birds arrived and together they surrounded the dog, causing it to become frightened and run away. The blue duck was very grateful and thanked the birds. It then continued its adventure and found some new friends around the lake. They played together and explored their environment with enthusiasm. From the adventure of the blue duck, we can learn that our surroundings have many interesting and challenging things to discover. However, we must always be vigilant and cautious to avoid danger. We can also learn about friendship and togetherness, as with the help of friends, we can overcome any obstacles and dangers that may come our way. In a lush green field, there lived a cheerful and happy group of sheep. They enjoyed spreading their wings under the sun, relishing the freshness of the grass, and indulging themselves in a peaceful environment. However, among the sheep, there was one that was different from the others. Her name was Dolly, and she had a very thick and beautiful coat with a striking white color. She was often nicknamed the Super Sheep by her friends because of her extraordinary fur. Although Dolly was very different from the other sheep, she felt lonely and unhappy. Her friends always admired her beautiful fur, but they also often made fun of her for being different. Dolly felt that she was never truly accepted. One day, Dolly decided to go on an adventure. She left the field and entered the dense forest. There, she met a crying fox. Dolly asked her what was wrong. "Everyone always makes fun of me because of my red fur," the fox replied. "They never see me as a friend." Dolly was touched. She decided to comfort the fox and help her find new friends who would accept her for who she is. While they were walking in the forest, they came across a lonely wolf cub and a very shy squirrel. Dolly and the fox invited them to join them and form a group. Dolly learned that as long as you find true friends who accept you, no matter how different you are from others, you will always feel happy. And from that moment on, Dolly never felt lonely again. She was grateful for having found true friends, and they made each other's uniqueness something special. One day, in the midst of a lush forest, there was a colony of ants living peacefully and harmoniously. Among them, There was an ant who was very skilled in making various objects from the materials around him. He was very talented and skilled in making various objects from leaves, wood, and stones. The craftsman ant always searched for the best materials to make his works. He was never satisfied with ordinary materials. He always looked for unique and rare materials to make his works more beautiful and attractive. One day, the craftsman ant heard about a very unique and rare material. The material was called ant crystal. A crystal material that could only be found in a very deep and dangerous cave. The craftsman ant was very interested in the material and decided to look for it. Without hesitation, the craftsman ant led a group of ants to search for the ant crystal. They had to overcome many obstacles and dangers to reach the cave. However, the craftsman ant was very confident in his abilities, so he was sure he could find the ant crystal. After days of walking, they finally arrived at the coveted cave. However, the cave was very dark and danger lurked at every corner. The craftsman ant was very careful and led the group of ants to cross the cave safely. After overcoming many obstacles, they finally found the ant crystal. The craftsman ant was very happy and felt pleased to find such a unique and rare material. He immediately took the ant crystal and brought it home to make his works. With the ant crystal, the craftsman ant was able to create various beautiful and amazing works. The entire ant colony was very impressed with his works, and the craftsman ant became famous throughout the forest. From his experience, the craftsman ant learned a lot about courage, perseverance, and precision in achieving goals. He also learned that when we have strong determination and courage, we can overcome all obstacles and dangers that come our way. The blue duck is a duck that lives in a small pond on the edge of a peaceful village. The blue duck has beautiful blue feathers and loves to swim in its small pond. One day, while the blue duck was swimming in its pond, it heard someone shouting in the distance. It looked towards the sound and saw a group of children playing in a field outside the village. The blue duck felt curious and wanted to know what was happening. It jumped out of the pond and took a short flight towards the children playing in the field. When it arrived there, it saw a child crying. The blue duck approached the child and asked, "What happened? Why are you crying?" The child complained, "I lost my ball and I can't play anymore." The blue duck felt sorry for the child and wanted to help. It said, "Don't worry, I will find your ball for you." The blue duck flew around the field and searched for the child's ball. After a while, it found the ball trapped in the bushes. It called the child and gave the ball to him. The child was very happy and thanked the blue duck. He went back to play with his friends, and the blue duck felt happy to have helped. After that, the blue duck became good friends with the children in the village. They often played together in the field and in the blue duck's small pond. The blue duck felt very happy because it had made new friends and helped the children in the village. It learned that kindness and friendship can make life more beautiful. One day, in the thick jungle, there lived a clever and wise tiger named Taji. He always thought before acting and was very cautious in keeping himself safe from danger. Taji lived in a comfortable cave and often went out to hunt for food in the forest. One day, while Taji was hunting, he saw a little child playing alone in the forest. Taji did not want to frighten the child, so he hid behind the bushes and just watched the child from afar. However, as Taji observed the child closer, he saw that the child was trapped in a hunter's trap. Taji knew he had to act to save the child. Taji went towards the trap and observed it carefully. He realized that he couldn't break the trap with his physical strength, so he had to think smarter. Taji decided to ask for help from other animals in the forest. He spoke to monkeys, birds, and deer, and finally, they all agreed to help Taji. They made a plan to distract the hunter and free the child from the trap. Taji signaled, and the animals started making noise and chaos in the forest. The hunter was distracted, and Taji quickly opened the trap and freed the child. The child was very grateful to Taji and the animals, and they all thanked the clever Taji for saving the child. From then on, Taji became a legend in the forest, and all the animals respected him and considered him their leader. Taji was happy because he had made a difference in the world and helped someone in need. And he knew that he could always rely on his friends in the forest if he needed help in the future.